Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to be with you today. When I come to these forums, it impresses me how much people care about their community, and that's why they're present today. And I want to thank Christ Church for having us here today. But it shows that you care about your city. It shows that you care about the issues that face us today. And it's a pleasure to be here with the mayor. We've been at a few of these occasions together. It's been very enjoyable, very civil. We discuss the issues, and we engage with you, and that's why we're here. For me, it's a chance to speak from the heart to you, our citizens. Except for my years of medical training in Chicago and my 14 months of active duty with the U.S. Army, I've been a lifelong resident of Cincinnati. I attended St. Xavier High School and the University of Cincinnati. Both schools really taught me to be a part of my community. I started in practice in 1986. I had a downtown office. It was in the Crew Tower. And I was there for 15 years. About 10 years ago, I joined Wellington Orthopedics, and I began practicing with them as a partner with a group that now has 29 doctors and 10 locations. In 1998, I made the decision to join the United States Army Reserve. It was something that I had been thinking about doing for a while, and decided, why not me? Who are the people that serve? Who are the people that are willing to step away and to defend their country? And I decided to be one of them. In 2005, one morning I was in a store and a gentleman asked me, do you think you'll be going to Iraq? And I said, well, I haven't been called yet. I think I missed this war. Well, that afternoon I got a phone call. It said, your orders will say 18 months. You'll need to be in Birmingham next week, Fort McCoy the week after that, and then you'll go to Iraq for a year. And I'll never regret that. I tell people that it was the worst thing that I ever had to do, but the best thing that I ever got to do. And when I came home, I gave about 60 presentations about the tour or events on Memorial Day, Veterans Day. And when I would do that, people would say, you ever consider running for office? I gave the talks about heroes, leadership, and ethics. And then, so when it came time to figuring out should I run for office, I thought the same thing as I did when I joined the Army. Why not me? Why don't I step forward and try to make a difference in my community? And that's really why I'm here today. So as many of you know, I served as the chief of surgery at Abu Ghraib Prison Hospital. I was part of the 344th Combat Support Hospital stationed there. And we went in after the infamous scandal at Abu Ghraib. Not an easy task. It was a challenging task because we were to restore America's honor. And I can say that we did that. We made Abu Ghraib, we made Iraq a better place than we found it. And that is really the premise of service, in my opinion, leaving something better than we find it. After my tour in Iraq, I really felt compelled to serve in other ways. And I believe that service to others, to the community, to the public in general, is an honor, it's a privilege, and it is a sacred trust when it's granted to you. Muhammad Ali once said, service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. And I believe that. And you have to pay that rent on your own, and it has to come from within. And for these reasons, along with the culmination of my real-life experiences, I decided to run for mayor of this fine city, Cincinnati. Now, we're a strong city with many natural resources and talented people, but together we can promote a greater Cincinnati now and for future generations. Today we're downtown, the center city. I love downtown Cincinnati. I practiced downtown for 15 years, as I said, and I want to see downtown flourish. I want to see businesses eager to locate downtown. I want our citizens and our visitors to feel safe downtown. I want our citizens and visitors to feel safe in each and every neighborhood. And government's first priority ought to be to protect its citizens, each and every one of them. And we'll focus on public safety. We'll work closely with our county leaders to resolve the problems associated with the lack of jail space. And just as important, we're going to try to stop the cycle of recurrent offenders. But we see that crime is a plague to us, and it halts our good ideas very often. It gets in our way. And when I returned from Iraq in June of 2006, I remember hearing that we had about 56 homicide or so in Cincinnati. And it was only June, and I wonder, was I safer in Iraq? You know, people were protesting the war, which is their right. They have every right to protest the war. I have no problem with that. But I wondered, where are the protests in our city streets about what's taking place in our streets, where we're killing ourselves right here at home? So safety is key to a successful city. Its businesses, its families, its tourism. And public safety will be a top priority for me. for each and every neighborhood. And leadership is required for that. I know that in Iraq, I had the daunting task of having to go out and tell soldiers and Marines when one of their own buddies died. That was not fun. I never enjoyed that at all, and there was always tears. But I knew that when I went out there and I spoke to them, I could look those guys in the eye and say, I know we did all that we could. And I wonder, as we look around our city and we look within our leadership of our city, are we able to say that? Are we able to really look into the eyes of the victims and in the eyes of the families and say, we're doing all that we can? New initiatives for our city always need to yield positive results. That's important. And just like in medicine, we need to be evidence-based. Feel assured in advance that what we are about to undertake is going to be successful. We have to always review our decisions afterwards and make sure that what we're doing is positive. And if the results aren't satisfactory, then we need to change directions. So I pledge that your tax dollars will be well protected. There'll be no room for wasteful or frivolous spending. There certainly isn't right now. We'll only be frugal and intelligent with our expenditures, of public monies especially. As individuals and businesses, we know that we have no choice but to manage responsibly. We have to do that. And so must your government. It has to be the same thing. You know, Cincinnati's on the water, but it's not an island, and we have to compete. We have to improve our customer service. Welcome those that want to come here and build and create jobs. Make them feel at home, and not make it so difficult that they go elsewhere, like we see so often. And we can be a city where jobs actually are competing for workers. And I would suggest that we'll be transparent. Can't we be overtly honest and upfront? Let's put our budget and finance numbers online. It's the citizens' money. It's your money. You should be able to know where it's going. And certainly we'll address health care issues, from infant mortality to problems with the environment that affect our health. We will resolve the roadblocks that impede our progress. And we'll choose to take on the challenges that are difficult. That's really what it's about. Take on the things that are difficult. And I know I'm not your conventional candidate by any means. And that may be refreshing to some. I hope so. I've always felt that those that serve in office should bring years of real-life experiences to the offices that they hold. And I intend to do that. I've been a business owner. I've been a leader, both civilian and military, community volunteer, and Big Brother for 20 years. On the board of Boys Hope, Girls Hope, and I've been in the caring business for a long, long time. No one in my family was a doctor. No one was in the military, and no one ever held political office. But we were all taught to care for each other and to try and make a difference in the lives of others. We were reminded that everyone we meet, regardless of their walk of life, is in some way our superior, that we're all in this world together. So help me bring us all together, if you would. You know, from big business to small business, from self-employed to the unemployed, from volunteers to those in need, from union to non-union, from city employees to elected officials, from students to teachers, from physicians to patients, from citizens to police and firemen, from parents to children. Let's continually raise our level of expectations from ourselves and from each other and do something great together. And that's why I'm running for mayor. Thank you.